Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's about 11:30 and I'm jumping on the light green line here at Phrom Phong, heading up to the Wat, way past Mochip. I think this is the little bit longer way to get out to Chengwatana Government Division 1 Immigration, rather than going from here to the blue, to the red, to the pink. But let's do it. This is the easier way. A little bit longer, maybe 10 minutes. We'll just take this straight up, and I believe you can even walk from the green straight into the pink without changing payment. And 24 minutes later, we're up at the Mochip BTS. It took 42 minutes to get to the Wat. Now we are going to transfer over to the pink line. I've only did this twice, and one time you had to buzz out on the rabbit here on your rabbit card at the green and then buzz in on the pink. You can use your rabbit card, but I believe the last time I was here, you could go straight from the green on to the MRT pink without buzzing out. So let's go figure it out. Like many of the new trains, the MRT yellow, the MRT pink, you can use your rabbit card. You cannot use it on the MRT blue. You can use your Visa card on blue. And we're going to this train, the Nonthaburi Civic Center, and we'll go to Government Complex. The Impact Arena's out here on the pink as well. Guns N' Roses, all your big concerts will be at Impact Arena. And they just, well, I guess been 6 or 7 months, they extended the pink line to go straight into Impact. I'm still take the blue to the red government train guy, just because I've did that for so long. This pink line, it's fairly new. There's the exit for the green, but yes, it's open, so you walk straight over to the pink. That's a little unusual compared to, say, the blue at Sukhumvit. You have to buzz out and then walk upstairs to get on the Assault green. Here, just they just flow together. And I'm 99% sure I'm platform 2. Yeah, in fact, I know I am, to the Civic Center. Let's see if there's a map up here. I'm not sure how many stops. I know when you're coming in the other direction off the red government train, you get off at Lak Si. Now, Lak Si is where you'd go to pay 1,900 baht for an extension on your Visa Exempt. Maybe an extension on your tourist visa, I'm not sure. So we're going Government Complex. Where are we? Okay, we're here. And we go 1 stop, then 2 stops to Lak Si, then National Telecom, then Government Complex. All right, so right here is where the red train. The red train also at Lak Si goes 1 or 2 more stops and you're at Don Mueang Airport. If you were coming out to watch whoever, Beyonce, from here, you do what we just did. You'd go past Lak Si, past Government Complex, come up to here, and then I guess you have to change trains, and then you're at Impact Arena. And I'm assuming that's where Impact Arena is. I did zero research. I should have wrote down exactly what was left on my rabbit when I buzzed in. I forgot. I'm fairly certain there is a cap, 49 baht, something like that. I could be wrong about that. I know there used to be years ago when I was checking those things, but I'm not sure about today. What I'm getting at is I don't think it's 110 baht charged on your rabbit card. I'm pretty sure it caps out at some point. Just did a quick Google search. It said something about if you're within the original 25 stations, which I don't know what that means. I assume from Mochip, En Nut, those type of original stations, it's a maximum fare of 47 baht. If you use extending lines, which I assume is what I'm doing here using the pink, it's a maximum fare of 65 baht. So there you go. Taking a cab out here from my home in Phrom Phong, they're going to want to use the toll roads, and you're responsible for that. Somewhere around 500 baht each way. And everything's clearly marked and in English. If for some reason I accidentally got on the train going the wrong way, you'd figure it out pretty quick. Just get off at the next stop and switch over. And I can see Danwang Airport off in the distance. And here we are at Lak Si. If you were to go on the other side of the road over there, there's a shopping mall, and I believe it's the third or fourth floor where you would go to get your extension. You don't go to the main immigration where I'm heading, Chiang Mai Tanah. You go to the shopping mall. Pay your 1900 baht right there. They everything's in there. All the forms, you can get your photo done, but I would suggest getting all that ahead of time. It's a different size photo for immigration here than your US passport photo, so don't bring that by mistake. You'll have to get it knocked out at one of the photo centers around town. If you're in the Sukhumvit area, Asia Copy is where I go, right across the street from the M Sphere. Really nice family. Just download the form. Different things online will say, no, you need an original form. I've always used it, downloaded forms, and up to you, but download it, have it filled out. You don't want to be that guy heading to immigration without a clue as what's going on and sitting there trying to fill that form out on your knee. You're going to be under enough pressure trying to get your nano extension and all that type of thing at immigration. The more you can have done before you get there, the better. Now it's a little bit confusing. You're going to want to get off at Government Complex. There is a Chiang Watana exit. I think it's the next one past Government. You can get off there, but where we'll get off, I'm going to show you how you can jump on the shuttle bus, because there are two buildings that look like immigration. They're big, huge buildings. I'm not sure. I'm trying to see it off in the distance. The one that's right near the train, that's not where you're going. That's the one we're going to, way back there. The one that's right near the train is where the Thai Supreme Court is. So unless you're going to the Supreme Court, you're going to want to get on the bus and go to the one in the back there. It's a bit of a walk, so I would either jump on a motorbike or do what we're going to do. Right there is the bus. And we're heading back there. And what I've even heard in other YouTube videos is, well, there it is right there, immigration. Wrong. That is Government Complex. That is I'm forgetting building A, building B. I think we're going to building B. So if you walk over there, you're just wasting your time. Now there is a walkway right there. Again, you have to be careful of things you see on YouTube. This guy, he had not been immigration, obviously, because he was saying, yeah, just get off and take this walkway and it takes you straight in there. I guess maybe he was going to a court hearing or something, because that is not where immigration is. It's on the other side of those buildings. And again, you can walk to it, but it's pretty darn hot. So what we're going to do is leave, go down on the street, right over there where those flags are. You can't really miss it. It's this big, huge street, and there might be 20 or 30 people. You might have to wait 2 buses, or there'll be motor taxis standing by. I'm guessing 20 baht, they'll race you down the street. We are at the 59-minute mark. And again, it's a little confusing because it says Government Complex 4, and that's true. There's a street you can take to go down there, but it's a long walk. We want to take exit 3 and head over to the bus. I'm not sure why there isn't kind of a dummy sign. Hey, foreigners, go over here to exit 3 to immigration and hop on the bus. But that's easier bet. I did that going over to exit 4 and thinking, oh, how far back can it be? From here to walk back there, well over 15 minutes. I don't know if this is an escalator. Nope, can't do it. And again, that guy on YouTube, he was saying, right there, you just walk straight on in there. Man, just be real careful with guys on YouTube. I saw another guy, and he was talking about This is a great area to live. Very central Bangkok. Ay, ay, ay. I guess if you're going to immigration every day, this is a nice central location. Now there's all kind of taxis here. Yeah, they're waiting for a guy like me. Hey, 200 baht, I'll race you over to immigration. And if you have other things on your mind, maybe they'd do it for 100 baht, I'm not sure. And if you just come out here nice and early and make an appointment. I have a 1:30 appointment. You'll see other people online, oh, plan on being out here all day. Okay, if you can't figure out how to make an appointment. Now, look at this. Look at these buses. I don't know what's going on here. That's why I like to take the train out here. There is all kinds of stuff going on out here, and they will just shut the road down for, they're soldiers. Yeah, they'll shut the road down for anything. The assistant to the department of the assistant. And one motorcade after another, even where I'm going, there's immigration, but it's also the Department of Homeland, this and that, or agriculture. So these big shots, when they go to lunch, it's a motorcade, and you could be sitting there 5-10 minutes. I've got caught in 2 motorcades before. So when I'm coming out here for a 10 o'clock appointment or whatever it is, I like to take the train. The train's not going to be stuck with a motorcade. I'll leave that up to you. If no, I'm taking a cab and all this and that. Okay, I'd give it a solid 2 hours just in case you get hung up for 30 minutes. And I'll put my links to a couple other videos coming out here. I'm pretty sure, now it's a little more confusing. You have to change trains, but to go, in my case, from the green, change to the blue there at Sukhumvit at Terminal 21, come up to Kruntep Apiwat train station and get on the red line there at, it's Kruntep Apiwat, but it's also Bang Su. When you're on the blue, it says welcome to Bang Su Station. But when you're on the red, it says welcome to Kruntep Apiwat train. That was a name change. So right here, we're gonna make a right turn and go to the free shuttle bus. And at 7 in the morning, I think this place opens at 8:30, I think. Yeah, you better be here at 6:45, 7:30 in the morning, and there's, or 7, and there's ladies passing out numbers. I think 1 through 200 if you don't have an appointment, which again is a bad idea. But where is this bus? They pass out these little numbers, and then you go sit in a chair. And at 8:30 they go, okay, number 1 through 100, get up and go on in. And once the first 200 go in, then it's just a mad dash. You know what? Yeah, okay, this is where the bus is. I've only been on it once. You just jump on a motorbike, but I'm trying to show you how to do it. And you can walk it. You can see the end down there, but it's not much fun when it's pouring rain and super hot. Let's get on the free bus. It's kind of a long video. I kind of went down a bunch of rabbit holes and just different issues. There's our shuttle bus on making an appointment, but I did make a video. You basically have to register, and a couple of days later they say, okay, here's your PIN and all that type of thing. So that's a nice little service they provide, and it just dropped me off in a different area than the last time I was here. So just go with it. No big deal. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'm positive we didn't get dropped off here last time. But Gate 1, Building B, and Division 1, that is where I'm heading. And I'm actually doing a 90-day report. I did it online and I got rejected. I think I know why. I didn't do a TM30, which is the residency form, within 24 hours of when I came back from Korea. I tried, but my property manager got it done in 42 hours. And I did a fresh one just now, 2 days ago, because I knew I had to do this 90-day report. You can do it 15 days early, and that's, I think I'm at the 13-day mark. Right there you see Immigration Division 1. And I'm pretty sure where regular immigration is, they've moved this 90-day check-in out of the way upstairs on the 3rd floor, something like that. I've only did 2 90-day check-ins in person ever in 3 or 4 years. I've either did it online or when you travel out of the country, let's say at the day 89, you go to Korea. When you come back, you get a fresh 90 days. So I travel so often that I just never do the 90-day check-ins. Right now, I was halfway considering jumping on a plane and going somewhere to Hong Kong, and then I caught my breath and said, I'm not taking a trip just to avoid a 90-day check-in. I know how to do it online. I went to do it online and boom, rejected. And I'm pretty sure because of that TM30 out of Korea. Again, I wish I could do the TM30. That would certainly happen. But when you're asking your property manager, hey, I'm arriving at whatever, 12:01 on a Saturday night, I need it done by 12:01 on Sunday night, they usually get the message on Monday morning, even if you give them a 3 or 4 days notice. On Monday mornings when you're going to get that TM30, and it's going to be older than 24 hours. You head in, you're going to have to show your passport. They're going to dig through your backpack, so don't be bringing anything you shouldn't. Here's the office of the Election Commission of Thailand. So we are at the 1 hour and 13-minute mark. Let's say I wasted about 5 minutes, so it was clearly over an hour. I would easily give it an hour and a half, and I'm an old military guy planning-wise, so heck, I give it 2 hours, and if I'm a half hour or 45 minutes early, who cares? Come over here and wander around whatever displays they have going on. Other people like to cut it a little closer. Kind of got a concert or something going on in here today, and I think I'm going upstairs, but I'll show you where the regular immigration is. The rest of this is Geoinformic Space Technology Department, or the Department of Special Investigation. I mean, you could land a plane if all these booths weren't here. But Division 1 immigration is just a small part of it. Although at 7 in the morning, there'll be 1,000 people, and those 1 through 200 I'm telling you about, they'll be lined up in chairs over against that wall. So make an appointment. Now, with all that being said, I have an appointment for 1:30, which was the only appointment I could get, kind of last minute. Just real quick, the appointments, they're usually put out 30 days ahead of time, and 28 days ahead of time, the good appointments are gone. And by the good ones, I mean you want to be here at right 8:30 in the morning, 9 in the morning, because if there's any problems, and there's always a little problem, like you might turn in your paperwork and the immigration officer is looking at it and saying, I don't know, this picture of your landlord's ID doesn't have their middle name, it just has an initial, go fix that. Well, that's easier to do when they tell you that at 9:30 in the morning than in my case now at 1:30 in the afternoon. 3:30, they pretty much shut the doors up, and from noon to 1, they just close it down. Everybody is off to lunch, so it gives you more options in the morning. Now, as far as this 90-day check-in, I just brought everything she could possibly ask for. My lease, my TM30, yeah, I printed it out. Other people say, you don't need to do any of that, it's all online. I just print it out. I go above and beyond. Anyhow, there's all kinds of copy centers, and I'm also going to make a copy of the TM47 I filled out just, oh, there's a post office. I like to do that. That's a bit overkill, but I write the date on it and I say, this is the TM47, I presented her and she accepted it, so everything's good there. Now, other people might say, well, I know they close up from 12 to 1, so I'm just going to roll in at 1 without an appointment and all. Very bad idea. I mean, you can do it, but yeah, that's a terrible idea. It just, everything takes long here at Bangkok. I know I'll get comments on this video. Oh, you're crazy. It takes 2 minutes at immigration. And yeah, okay, where are you? Well, I'm up in some province I've never even heard of. Yeah, there's a big difference between that and this area with 16 million people running about from every different country in the world. It gets a little busy here. So if you've never been here, just heed that warning. Here's one of the 2 food courts. I did go to the wrong side, but I'm 30 minutes early. And if you're not 15 minutes early, you're late, the way I do things. Also be careful with some of the information you see online. Many of the banks are no longer here. This is Bangkok Bank, which I've used. I've switched over. I still have Bangkok Bank, but I'm also using SCB now. They're not here. Their closest branch is a hospital about a mile away, but since it's the closest immigration, they do open very early at 8:30. Now my buddy has this Krungsea branch. They're here. I see the pink bank over in the corner, but do your research on that and pay attention to the dates. If it says, oh yeah, SCB's at Chiang Watana, and you're looking at some kind of article from 2019, yeah, it was here in 2019. It's not here today. So we go up one floor, and that should be Division 1. And I'm not certain, but I think the 90-day check-in is up here now. I know it recently moved since the last time I did a 90-day check-in, which was years ago in person. And they've changed the way, I think, since I made that video on how they do appointments. You used to have the appointment, show up to the front counter, show proof of your appointment, and you kind of skip the queue. Now they tell you what counter to be at, in my case, 1:30. Okay, now this is everybody pouring into the normal immigration, Division 1, after the lunch break. You might have a queue number of A72, and they're on A19, so you're clearly not going to get in before lunch. So just go eat, and then come back and keep your fingers crossed you're out of here before 4 o'clock or whatever the case is when they say come back tomorrow. And it's not terribly confusing, but I know there is a bit of a learning curve. So many people will comment on this video, and rightly so. I am 100% getting an agent, and if it costs me $1,000 or $1,500 or whatever the situation is, I'm going to do it. Now you can use an agent for what I'm doing today, and it's 1,000 baht, something like that. And I halfway considered it, just so I don't have to bother coming all the way down here. But you do have to hand them your passport, and I don't know. I'm not much in the business of here's my passport. I'll get it from you in the next day or two. So keep that in mind. Other issues like using an agent to help you with your nono for retirement, you have to be present. Not so for this 90-day check-in, from what I understand from my buddies that do that. Now other friends, they have, one of my friends has the elite visa, and I believe they take care of his 90-day check-ins, and it's just that. It's a little more elite, so I don't know if he has to surrender the passport. I'm not sure. Let me make a quick copy and then go up and figure out where I need to be in 25 minutes. I'm pretty sure it's right there. Yeah, so just roll in with plenty of time. Don't be stressed. Come on in here, get a little pat krapao. Whatever it is you need. Bring cash. These fees, the 1,900 baht for your visa extension, the 36 or 3,800 baht for your multi-entry. Cash. Now, will they take a Thai bank scan? Probably. I don't know. I tried to use a U.S. visa, and they're like, no can do. She said cash. She didn't say scan, but maybe it's available. If you've scanned your Thai bank here at immigration, let me know in the comments. And hopefully I doubt I'm looking at any kind of fine if what the problem here is, hey, that TM30 wasn't done in time. I'm thinking that's what the issue was. If she lets me know, I'll ask. But if you're, and I certainly don't recommend to go on to overstay even for one day, but all these kind of issues you'll see online, 1,000 baht fine for this and that. Again, just have some cash in your pocket. You don't want to be up there at the window and she says, for whatever reason, you owe 3,200 baht fine. You have 500 baht in your pocket. Now you're going to find an ATM, and they're kind of hard to find in here. And it's a real mess. Then you have to get back in the queue. As a matter of fact, I tried to find an SCB ATM in here, and I was told they don't have one. I was trying to do that so I could update my passbook the day you're at immigration. I had to do it at that hospital about a mile away. Copy machines over here to the right. And I mentioned it before, you can do photos, copies, everything here, but anything you can get done ahead of time, do so. You don't want to be running around, and the lines coming out of these copy places are going to be 20 deep at 7 in the morning. Well, there you go. That was about a 5-minute appointment. She did look at my printed out TM30. Now, would she have looked at my phone? Probably. But I just take the extra step to, in this case, I just fired it to my girlfriend and said, hey, please print that out for me. You can do it at the copy shop. They will send it to you, your property manager, in a line, and then you just forward the line to the copy shop and they'll print it out. It's not that big a deal. Or figure out how to do it at home if you have a printer. I don't know. But I always fill those out, and they always take the paper from me, do what they're doing online, and then hand it back to me. Again, I kind of just cover all my steps. In the rare case you get somebody who's having a little bit of a bad day and they say, nope, go downstairs, make a copy, and then come back and get in line. I'm just trying to be ahead of the game. Now, I think I might have heard of this rule, but it's been so long since I did a 90-day check-in because I just leave the country. I travel often, and last year, heck, I think I took 8 international trips, and that covered all my 90-day check-ins. When we were all said and done here, I was still concerned, did I put the address wrong? One time, years ago actually, I got rejected, one of my first ones, because instead of putting 1 condo X, I put condo 1X, and she said, that's not your address, you're 1 condo X. So I thought maybe I did the address wrong. I was copying everything from an approved form, but this time she said, no, you went to Korea, you have to do your next 90-day check-in in person anytime you come from abroad. So that's a new change to me. The reason I probably didn't know was I go from one trip to the next trip to the next trip, and I just don't do the 90-day check-in. So keep that in mind. If you get rejected and you did just come back from even a trip home or a trip to another country, that 90-day check-in has to be done in person. And if you want to make that appointment, they go pretty quick. I was making an appointment 4 days ago, I think. Yeah, 4 days ago, the first time I got rejected. And all that was available was 2 days. Then the next appointment was about 10 days from now, which would have put me past my 90-day. And I'm not playing that game like, hey, I'm only 2 days late. That's not a problem, is it? Now, it makes perfect sense. You'll see different people online saying, oh, don't come in your Chong t-shirt and your surf trunks and all. But that same guy who was saying that, now I come dressed for success. More so than coming in a 3-piece suit is coming prepared, having your act together. Here's my TM30. It's printed out for you. I had a copy of my visa, my last current visa, printed out. She kind of smiled, oh, you're very well prepared, and said, nope, I don't need that. I had a copy of my lease, just in case there was any copy or question as to what exactly is your address, and just make a bunch of copies of your lease. When you come down for different issues, they usually keep that copy of my lease, and the last thing you want to do is pass out your original copy. So there you go. If you're coming back from abroad, coming back from your home in the UK or America, or coming back from a trip to Vietnam or whatever the case is, be prepared to do your 90-day check-in in person and get that appointment. They release them about 30 days ahead of time, 25 days ahead of time. Start making that perfect appointment. If you're a morning guy, make the 8:30 appointment. If you're like me, roll on in here right after lunch at 1, and you're in and out of here in 5 minutes. The seats I'm talking about. So if you get here, I think they stop passing out or they run out of numbers. They call it 7 in the morning. So that is, I don't know if it's 300 seats or 200 seats. And then they go over here. Seats. all the way over there. The rest of the 1,000 people are just milling about after this group of people goes in. Then you go to right there to get your forms if you're not prepared. Then you go over here and they're going to say, where are the forms prepared? You don't have them prepared? Okay, go back outside and fill them out on your knee, I guess. Then you come back over there, show them the forms. Then they give you a queue number, and it's going to be C117. You look up at the board and they're on C12. So stand by on that, or have your forms prepared, come with an appointment, and kind of roll in and roll out of here in an hour, and it's no big deal. Now, as far as me having an appointment, and you still need to check in behind the crowd. I don't want to film too much here, but like right there is where you walk in for the 90-day check-in. There's nobody in line right now, but when I walked up here at 1:15, they'd just opened back up for lunch, so the line went out the door, 10 people. I had to wait a good 10 minutes, and then she wanted to see on my phone my appointment and the time for the appointment. Then she handed me a queue card, I guess, and as I walked in, they were on A1124 and I was A1125 at my counter 7. And if I was late, because one time I was late, I had an appointment for 8:30 in the morning, and I had to be downstairs at Bangkok Bank at 8:30 in the morning. And by the time I got up to immigration, I was 15 minutes late for my appointment. And she says, where have you been? We've been calling you. Next time you're not here, you miss your appointment. I said, I'm very sorry, ma'am. I was downstairs getting my bank forms. And she says, you could have did that yesterday. She was a little upset with me, and rightly so, because she kind of squeezed me into that appointment 20 minutes late, and I'm sure she had another appointment. So just keep all that in mind. And the reason I did that was, and I explained it earlier, the last time I had an appointment, it kind of gave you head of the queue privileges. Now you have a time. I was at today 1:30, A1125. At 1:40, she's on to another person, and they'd probably say, you know what, you missed your appointment, go get in the regular queue and keep your fingers crossed, we get to you before 4 o'clock, and that's fair enough. If you have an appointment, get there well ahead of time in case you have to wait 15 minutes to get checked in for that appointment. I know I'm saying things in an overkill manner, and some people might be a little bit more, I just wing it, seat of my pants, I'm going to go down there, no big deal. Last time I was in and out in 45 minutes. Hey, maybe you just got lucky, and the next time you come down here, you roll in at 11 in the morning, and you're not going to be out of here before lunchtime. You might still be sitting here at 5 till 4. By the time they call you up there, you're missing something, and now it's like, come back tomorrow. And tomorrow might be a Saturday. And Saturday and Sunday, by the time you come back Monday, now you're on overstay. So I don't play those games. So I might be the over-prepared guy, but you're not going to be like the guy who was standing in front of me at the counter today as we were checking in, raising his voice and saying, why do you make this so difficult? And, 3 of the immigration ladies are just kind of like, I don't know. Why don't you go get an agent if you can't figure this out? I have plenty of forms, so I'm going to get on out of here, but I would recommend right as you walk into Division 1, again, I'll point to it right there before you walk into the main center, that is the form section. Tell them, hey, can I get 3 sets of nano extension forms or whatever it is you want? If they say, why do you need 3 sets? I'm picking them up for my buddies. Whatever the case is, they're probably not even going to ask. Just put them in your folder, fill it so you have the nice originals if you're worried about making photocopies. And again, I've never had that issue. The TM47, which is the 90-day check-in form, it was a photocopy, or it was a photocopy of an original I made, and I have 10 of them in my little accordion folder for immigration, and I've never had an issue. I have heard online, I think it's sometimes if you're coming off with a little bit of an attitude, or you're just not prepared, maybe you walk up to the counter and you're like, why do I need a lease? This is ridiculous. Then that's when they start saying, oh, you know what? And by the way, this isn't an original form, so go back and redo it on an original form. Or, oh, by the way, you filled it out in blue ink. Don't use colored ink. Go fill it out in black ink. Or it's in black ink. Is that a Xerox? Yeah, go fill it out in blue ink. These folks are just human, and they have to kind of put up with a lot of guff. I know a lot of people look at it the other way, like, oh, I can't believe they're being so mean to me, or whatever the case is. I don't know. I always get smiles. I'm not saying I'm doing things better than anybody else, but the nice lady that helped me today, very accommodating. She was coughing, and excuse me, I need to go get some water. And she wandered off, and I just happened to have a brand new pack of Halls, the throat lozenges, and I go, hey, I'm not trying to offer you any kind of bribe here, and she just laughed, and I go, here, take these cough drops. She's like, oh, thank you so much. And again, maybe that just put a little something in the back of her head, like, oh, these Farongs, they're not so bad. I might have just got some gruff from 10 in a row, but yeah, I got to remind myself that, they're people too, and maybe they're under a little bit of stress coming down here. So just, we do the best we can to kind of be ambassadors here in Thailand. I mean, we're visitors, and coming in immigration like the guy in front of me, and why is this so difficult? That's not making any of us look better. And it's really not that difficult at all. He was probably reading the rules for immigration at the pub last night on pint number 7, and no judgment there, but do it on pint number 2 next time. Pretty good softbox setup here. Yeah, putting the different products there and selling things online. They've mellowed out on the 12-to-1 bands going on. Yeah, so immigration, Chiang Watana, it's an interesting place. If you're watching one of these videos, and I'm grateful for everybody that does in different parts of the world and Thailand. I know a lot of folks, they'll come into Bangkok. It's a great city, but they don't want to live here. They want to live up in the country and all, so maybe they'll watch my videos and hey, I was kind of interested in that Siloam area, so I watched your videos, or maybe they're watching this. How's immigration in Bangkok? Not that I want to deal with it, but I know how it is here, and what you just did, we do in a drive-through window. Just kind of whip in. They're like, hey, Joe, how you doing? Is it time for your 90-day check-in, or what are you doing here? Oh, you went to Korea? That must have been fun. Yep, you gotta check in here in person this time. And 9 out of 10 times, I would have jumped on a plane and went somewhere else a week or two ago and not had to do another 90-day, but this time it just kind of caught up with me. So unless I have business at the provincial office of the Election Commission, I am out of here. Back before they had the pink line, I think the red line has been there longer. I would jump on a motorbike from here and zip over to Lak Si and jump on the red. And I'll still do it, but it's kind of not a long ride, but it's one of those rides with not a ton of traffic, so they really get moving. And those aren't my favorite. I don't mind sitting on the bike going down Sukhumvit at 5 miles an hour, but going 50 miles an hour to get over to Lak Si as quick as possible, not my favorite. I want to say they charge 40 baht. You can do it in a cab. Again, this is Farang Central, so the word of the day might be, I'm going to need 100 baht. This meter's broken. Kind of need to pick your battles on those $3 chargers. But what I'm going to do is take the bus over to the Pink, take the Pink to Lak Si. Ooh, where am I going? I'm going to get on the red. I probably shouldn't be filming here. Oh, door's open right in front of me. I'm going to get on the red and go to Krung Tep Papiwat. I don't think I'll make that bus. I'm not going to run for it. And then jump on the blue, head up to Sukhumvit. No, I made it. It was sitting here a minute. It is a little after 2 p.m. Let's start the stopwatch and see how long it takes to get back to the Prompong station. I think it was an hour and 13 minutes to arrive here. I'm gonna guess, it kind of depends. That red train only runs every 10 minutes, so if it, what is this? It's another building. That red train goes every 10 minutes, so if you miss it, that could goof things up. But if you get on that red train just right, I think we can do this in, I'm gonna call it 55 minutes. So I'm good for 90 days from today. I'm here, I think, 11 days early from my last 90, but you lose those 11 days. So the clock starts again today. And if I were to leave the country, say in 2 weeks, when I come back, I get a fresh 90. But since I left the country again, if I don't leave the country a second time, once again, I have to come back here and do the next 90 in person, if that's 90 days from my return or if it's a year from my return. If I keep taking trips until they change that rule and they start doing something about you have to check in at the airport or I don't know what. For now, the airport counts as the 90-day check-in. I know this is all a little confusing, but kind of is what it is. And this is a little bit different heading back. We're kind of going in a little circle through the government buildings. I guess this is also for the employees to get them over to the pink line. Fair enough. I've said it a couple of times now. You can walk this if you'd like, but it's kind of like walking from maybe Shuttle BTS to Phrom Phong. It's fairly decent walk. And we're back to the first bus station. From here, yeah, it's a straight shot over to immigration, but coming back, it was a little bit of a 7-minute ride, kind of winding around through the different government offices. And we need to walk right there to the pink line. Now this is going to be a little trickier than coming out. I'm going to have to use my rabbit on the pink from here, whatever that was, 4 stops up to Lak Si, then buzz out. Then I'm going to have to cross the street, get on the red train, pay a separate way, get up to Krung Thep Papiwat train station, that's where the red pulls in, then go down to the Bang Su station or the Bang Su stop of the MRT Blue, pay a third time, get over to Sukhumvit, and then buzz out and get on the green, pay is that a fourth time? Okay. So I can see how some people might want to keep it simple and just ride the green all the way around, even if it takes 10 extra minutes. And we might even be a break even here with that little tour I just took on the EV shuttle. I don't know if I'd do that again. I'd probably just jump on a motorbike and be over here in 3 minutes. 3, 7, it's not that big a deal. And here we go, exit or entrance 3, government complex. And here's what I'm talking about. We're at government. We're going to go up, get on the red, come down. This is Krung Thep Papiwat. We're going to get up on the blue. And I don't have my glasses on. I think it's this way. Yes, there's Petchaberry. And then right here is Terminal 21 and Sukhumvit Station. And then if I wanted to get on the green to go up to Phrom Phong. Simple. There goes the pink line. And I know I'm kind of splitting hairs on the times here, but whatever. I just go with whatever you're comfortable with. If you don't want to make all those train transfers, I understand. But it is 13 minutes just to ride the train back or the free EV bus and then get up here to the pink. And that's the building. It's about half the size of the other building. I'm pretty sure that's building A, and yeah, the other one's building B, where Division 1 immigration is. They look the same, kind of angled out off like that, a little bit of a Pentagon look, but that surely is not immigration. So if you see anybody saying that in a video, yeah, they're mistaken. I did just miss the pink as I was walking up. I maybe it's just me, but during the middle of the day, the MRT, it seems to just run slower than the BTS. I know during rush hour, I think there's a BTS train every like 30 seconds, at least every minute. But here with the MRT, it always, to me anyhow, it seems like I'm waiting 5 minutes. Now, maybe out here on the more outskirts of town, there's not a need for it to run every 2 minutes. I understand that, but just factor that into the thinking. Some kind of military base here, or at least a soldier standing by. Looks like they have a Humvee back there. And again, I'm not sure if this is a 2:30 in the afternoon thing, but I am going on minute 6 and I don't even see a train down at the, well, actually, what am I thinking of? The train comes from behind me. Nope, it does not. It's going off in this direction. Yeah, the pink line's new to me. So it's all a timing thing. I'm gonna definitely say that 55 minutes is out the window. In the past 9 out of 10 times, I had better luck making all the train connections and getting over here than riding that green, all those extra stops. And I think when you do add up the stops, it's another 7 or 8 extra. But yeah, it's all about how long it takes to get on the train to begin with. I'm probably gonna have to wait 9 minutes for the red line the way this trip's going. But I'm not complaining. Anytime you're in and out of immigration in 15 minutes, that's a good thing. And that needing to check in when coming from abroad. All right, roger that. I know the rule now. I thought it was a TM30 issue because I was late on the one coming back from Korea, and she looked at the TM30 that I just got 2 days ago, and it was, I think, still whatever the last TM30 is what they're going with. I'd probably still recommend to do that. Even if you do everything correct and the landlord or property manager gives you a TM30 within 24 hours when you return from, say, England or Australia, the US, whatever, even Vietnam on a local trip, I would probably still get a fresh TM30 if it's 3 months later and you're heading over here to do a 90-day check-in. They sure did not have a problem with me. She didn't say anything about what was up with that TM30 when you came back from Korea. That was all good. And here comes my train. It's 23 minutes since we left immigration. When did I walk up here? About the 15-minute mark. So this certainly isn't every 45 seconds a train coming up Sukhumvit. The new MRTs are driverless. So it is 2:32. We now have to walk across the street over to that platform. So buzz out of here. I guess 5-minute walk to the red. And then we either jump on it and take off in 1 minute, or we just miss the train and we wait 9 minutes. This is the government red line. We're taking the walkways across the way to Lak Si. Again, that's where you do the extensions, the 1900 baht extension on your 30-day visa exempt or 60-day visa today. I guess it's going to 30 soon enough. That's the word on the street. Or I guess it's more than just a rumor on the street. It's already been approved, and the tourism board is really pushing it. I think they're missing out on different revenues with the different DTVs and all. Just so many folks are coming in on that 60, getting 30 more days, and that's kind of it. That's all they need is 90 days. So they want to, I think, eliminate that and maybe make a little bit of money on the 1900 baht extensions. Fair enough. If you're staying 60 days, I mean, different folks in the comments have said, I don't know, that's going to hurt tourism. Hey, I think Bangkok is the #1 visited city in the world. If not, it goes back and forth 1 or 2 with London. So I think people are going to come here even if they charge 200 bucks to come on in for a 2-week vacation. You go to, and one gentleman was saying, I think people are going to go to neighboring countries. Well, where are you going to go? Vietnam? You don't get 1-day visa exempt. You pay the visa. I think it's 30 bucks. Maybe it's 20. I don't know. I haven't paid attention in getting one. But I do know the last visa I got, I rolled into Saigon and departed Hanoi, and I kind of got scolded that I needed a multi-entry visa to leave from a different airport. I got 50 bucks. So Thailand's giving you a free 60 today, and even if it's only a free 30, that's still better than Vietnam, and Cambodia is also a visa on arrival. So there's not a lot of free lunches around. Yet if Thailand switches from 60 back to 30, to some folks, I guess, it seems like a ripoff, or that's going to end tourism in Thailand. I doubt it. I've been to Cambodia. I've been to Vietnam. You, my friend, are no Thailand. And again, it gets a little confusing because you're going to see Bang Su and then you're going to see Krung Thep Papiwat. Same place. The Bang Su is the MRT stop. I guess it'd be like mixing up Sukhumvit on the MRT and a Sulk. Well, hey, are those in two different places? No, they're two different trains and two different train stops, but it's a junction. Krung Thep Apiwat is the main train terminal. The name was changed. Used to be Bang Sue Junction, but it's still Bang Sue Station in Krung Thep Apiwat train station. We got all that straight, and hopefully I'm explaining it correct.
The next train arriving at platform number 2
Here we go.
is bound for Krung Thep Apiwat Central Terminal Station. Please wait for the train at gate number 4 to 15.
Not sure that's my train, but this is where you could either wait 1 minute or wait 9 minutes. And we are at the 35-minute mark, and I see headlights down the way. The only problem is, yeah, you know what? Maybe it's a Krung Thep thing. I was going to say, we'll see. When the train pulls up at the main train station, Krung Thep Apiwat, it definitely seems to sit there 10 minutes. Maybe that's why I have that on the brain. When it pulls up here, maybe it takes right off. That would make more sense that they're getting the times adjusted up at the train. Again, I'm just going with my experiences here, and yeah, maybe I'm off on the 10 minutes going in the other direction. I think I had it correct. You could theoretically wait 9 minutes if you just missed a train. They're certainly not coming every 1 minute. They're less frequent than that MRT Pink Line, and that took 6 or 7 minutes. So there you go. What's going on here? I see you don't see police officers pulling people over and giving them tickets often, but I think that's definitely a police officer. And here comes the government red train, and stay to the right of the yellow. Not sure what this train cost. It used to be a flat rate 20 baht fee. Maybe it still is. And a nice blast air conditioning. So we're getting on this train at the 37-minute mark if you're playing along at home from walking out of immigration. And we are at 48 minutes from leaving immigration, pulling into Krung Thep Apiwat. And it's all clearly marked. We are leaving the red, and then we go down below into the underground, the subway, to the MRT Blue. You can see the big sign there pointing you to the blue. And if you needed to jump on the train heading out towards immigration or Dan Muang, let's go to the little ticket office right here. It's maybe a 3-minute walk in between trains, maybe 4 minutes if you're dragging your feet. Oh, I forgot to mention the red line. Yeah, it just took off in whatever it was, 20 or 30 seconds. It's here that I think they try to even up the time schedule. So now we're taking off from the blue. It's 3 p.m. I think that's 57 minutes since we left immigration. So yeah, I was way off on the 55 minutes to get to Sukhumvit. Actually, I just looked at the timer. It's 54 minutes, but I wasn't counting on the 8-minute EV shuttle ride back to the Pink or the 6 or 7 minute wait for the Pink to come along. Do not think we're gonna break our 1 hour 13 minutes that we did coming out here. And I am gonna call that a draw. We're at the 1 hour and 14 minute mark here at Sukhumvit. Sure, I have another 3 minutes to, well, maybe 5 by the time I walk up and get on the green and go up to Prompong, but I'm gonna get a bite to eat here at Pala Pizza. So there you go. I hit everything wrong coming back, waiting for that Pink Line and taking that longer bus ride. So could you possibly clip 10 minutes off the return ride coming the way I did, changing the trains? Maybe. But it's about a wash. And to be honest, I'll probably just do the green next time just for easiness. Just go on the green, hop on the Pink. Now, sure, I might have got lucky taking the green. I could wait 10 minutes to get on the Pink. Again, it's all nickel and dime, but you can see 1:15. I don't know if I'd cut it as close as an hour and a half to get to an appointment. I'd definitely give it that 2 hours. And if everything goes well and you're 30 minutes early, great. Grab a bowl of soup. But I am going to punch out here. I used my Visa. Walk up the stairs and get a piece of pizza. I appreciate you following along my channel, all my little videos, and hopefully this will help somebody to get on out to immigration. It's just not that complicated. Head on out there, take care of your business. If things get a little more tricky and you want to use an agent, no problem there. I've did my immigration 99% of the time, and I had one little hiccup, and I brought in an agent, and he cleaned it all up. And to be honest, I may go back to doing it on my own, or I might just pay him the whatever it is. It wasn't much of a fee to knock out my extension for me, just for easiness. I know how to do it, and I know what $300 is worth to me, and it may very well be worth not having any hassle. I'll make that game time decision, but just understanding what the agent is doing is probably one of the more important things. So have a great afternoon, and we'll catch you soon from Bangkok, Thailand. See ya.